Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to say welcome to a conversation, and this is a real conversation, one on one with my brother, Hussein, who we grew up together in the same neighborhood. And most of you know who I am. I'm your brother from another mother, Yan Ismail. Today we got a special guest, brother Hussein from Rahma Recovery. This is a serious conversation, and I know it would relate to many of you who are watching. Welcome, brother.
Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hussein Ugas, and welcome everyone. What we are talking about today is a topic that our community aren't either aware of or don't want to talk about. But today we start that conversation. I know this conversation has been talked about before in other spaces, and other members of the Muslim community, the Somali community has talked about it, but the way we're going to talk about it today is really get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to talk about why people are too ashamed to talk about what an addiction is, and why people get stigmatized when they are suffering from the disease of addiction. So let me back it up for you a little bit. Like Ayana said, we have grown up together. It's been over a couple of decades since we ran into each other, and alhamdulillah, Allah has brought us back together when we are both at a place where Ayana has already been in this space of serving the community for a long time. I came back to serve the community in this specific reason: to have the conversation started, to get rid of the stigma, and to break through the wall of silence. Because our community is dying in silence. They are suffering in silence, and they're dying in silence. All because everyone who suffers from this disease called addiction is shamed and shunned from the community. Now, if someone has a cancer, if someone has a kidney disease, if someone is suffering from a deadly disease, what we do is we take them to the treatment services necessary, and the most important thing we do for them is make a dua for them and ask Allah to give them cure. Every one of you who's watching this video, when have you ever made a dua from someone who's an addict? Because addiction is a disease. A disease that kills more people than cancer yearly. Now, let's talk about that conversation today.
That was very powerful. You've heard it all. This brother is definitely one of the pioneers. The first brother that really decided to take on creating a space for Somalis, for Muslims to have a rehab and a recovery center. And we're very proud of him. Sometimes we are a very blessed community. We have businesses, non-profit organization left and right, money's coming in. But are we really creating an impact, and are we really helping those who are the most vulnerable, right? And that is the next generation of Somalis and Muslim youth that are struggling with addiction. So I'm going to ask this brother, how did you come across Rahma Recovery Center? What inspired you to open a center for the Muslim youth and Somali youngsters who are struggling with addiction?
Rahma Recovery Center came from me having a lived experience in what is called addiction. Over 12 years ago, I was at a place where my life was chaotic. I was living the insanity of day-to-day life and trying to find answers. Where we come from, we don't really talk about, addiction or mental health. I've done some research where the word addict or addiction is not even in the Somali language. And I doubted this in a lot of other foreign languages. And for us in the diaspora, for us, Muslims that come from third world countries, war-torn countries, we all suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, or also known as PTSD, that we never got treated for it because we didn't know what it was. Alhamdulillah, 12 years ago, because my addiction was so deep, and this is a story for another day, akhi, where the struggles that I've gone through, the dark places that I've been because of my addiction, and how many times I've searched for answers, how many mornings I didn't want to get out of bed, and I asked Allah, just give me just one day without substance abuse. This isn't something that I wanted to continue doing. For 5 years out of the 8 years I was an addict, I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired and looking for answers. But when I went into a treatment facility and they told me what I have was an addiction, and I got treated for my mental health, then I had another burden on me. Because how many members in my community, how many members of the Muslim community don't know what I know now? Yes, there has been other sober living homes, drug addiction treatments that were open for the community. But they were open for business reasons, for monetary gains. I have tried to steer away from getting into this line of work because I didn't want to be the one that benefits from the pain of my community. But after going to funeral after funeral after funeral of my community members overdosing from this deadly, evil drug called fentanyl, I couldn't stand by anymore. Something had to be done, and something had to be done now.
Brother Hussein, we understand the struggles, the challenges from the human aspect and addiction, and culturally that we're not ready for this. So I'm asking you, what are the major struggles and challenges that you're dealing with right now at Rahma Recovery Center?
Because we are a 501c3 organization and non-profit organization, and we are the first one of its kind, a faith-based, sober living home for Muslim men. We had to start with the Muslim men because this was the first house that we were able to get licensed for. We have 8 beds in that house. It's located in Federal Way. We have had brothers come in and relapse. This disease they're dealing with is something they still have yet to get a grasp of. We are also having difficulty in filling those beds because of the community's understanding of what this house is. The community sees this place as instead of talking to their loved ones and telling them to go get help, go to Rahma Recovery Center, they're too ashamed to even, the ones that go over there, they're talking them out of it. They're telling them, all right, you've been there for a couple of weeks, a month now. I think you're all good. You cleared your head. You can come back home. And this is an addict. We don't just do a house where these people can just come and lay their head, right? We offer them outpatient treatment programs. We have resources, right? We give them structure. We make sure that they go to a AA and NA meeting, Alcoholic Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous meeting. We give them a discipline, a curfew, a wake-up time, a job search program, a gym memberships. We try to rebuild the human. But to get to what our specific struggles are, we are a new organization, right? And the things that right now that we're struggling is because we're so new. Number one, the right grants are not available to us. We are all going to need help from the community and donations from those who can donate towards us. The reason why, because of all these things that we do for the community, all these items that I've listed, and I didn't even add our rent, our utilities, and the food that we give these new guys when they come in. They don't have food. We got to make sure the fridge is full for them. We got to make sure these guys have clean clothes sometimes, and have stuff that they can use for the bathroom and everything the house needs.
The need now that Rahma Recovery has is to help these brothers to maintain their facilities. We need help, and the help has to come from us. It has to come from the parents, from the community, the masajids. They need help with rent, utility, as you heard. They need help with grocery. They need help with the brothers that are coming into the house and need clothing, job search. Whatever you can help with, Rahma Recovery needs it. This brother's already given his entire life to this cause. He's dedicating his family time to this cause to make sure that the community has a space where people can recover. So how can you help Rahma Recovery Center get to the next level? And we ask for your help. Please stay tuned. How can people follow you? Give us emails, websites. Where can they find you?
You can find us at rahmarecoverycenter.org, RAHMA recoverycenter.org. You can contact me directly at hugas@rahmarecoverycenter.org, hugas@rahmarecoverycenter.org. We all need your support. The community needs your support. What we are doing is pioneering something that's never been done before. Please take part of this.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening. Please make sure to share, like, and subscribe to Runta News channel on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.